Assalamu alaikum everybody. In today's video, the lighting is going to be not the best, but that means that the information within this video is going to be extremely valuable. In today's video, I'm like, bruh, the way that Allah has created the world is truly insane. It's truly beautiful. It's truly magnificent. When you look at it, it's undeniable that everything is made by one source. Everything is made by one creator. Everything is actually, it all goes back to this one creator. I'm looking at this and I'm like, this right here, obviously it's a human lung, and this right here is a tree. What are the chances that both of these are the same exact way? Like you can pretty much see that it's made in the same exact way. There is an ayah in the Quran where Allah says, we will show them our signs in the horizon and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that it's the truth. Allah will show you signs outside in the world and inside within you until you know that this is the truth. What is that truth? The truth that everything is made by the same creator, by the one source. So that when you're looking at the outside signs, understand that they're the same signs that are within you. You want to study yourself? You study the creation, you study the universe. When you study yourself, you're studying the universe. That's why Imam Ali himself says, he's like, you think you're a small creator, but inside you is an entire universe. So you are not someone small. This is why even when you sit in meditation and then you observe your thoughts, this is as powerful as when you sit and think about the universe. You contemplate about the creation of Allah, because that is ayat, and within are also ayat. And for you to be pondering upon it is something extremely, extremely powerful, because it'll make you realize that it's all made by the same source. So it'll strengthen your connection with Allah a lot. And then you will know it's all just one source. And then when you look at this is a brain cell, and this right here is the universe itself. So on the left is the neural network of a brain, and on the right is the entire universe right here. The microcosm is the macrocosm. So when Allah is talking about khalqus samawati wal ard, understand Allah is also addressing you. This is why I say when Allah talks about the sky, which is this right here, the universe, as-samawat, Allah's talking about the head, the brain, the mind, what's within you. And when Allah's talking about the earth, Allah's talking about the rest of the body. Now, go and look at the ayat in the Quran and try to substitute the word samawat with the mind, al-ard with the body, and see how much more fruits come out when you read it that way. And then even also understand when Allah talks about خلق السماوات والأرض في ستة أيام, even that is an indication that within you there are 6 things. I'm not going to talk about which 6 things is inside, but there are 6 things, and we can make a whole separate video on that. But then also when you look at this, for example, the Fibonacci sequence, it's like everything follows the same pattern. Your fingerprints, the seashells, the waves, the human body, the universe, it all follows the same sequence, which is an indication, once again, that it's all made by the same creator, the same source, the one source. This is why, understand, this is quantum physics here. This is why when you're able to connect yourself to this one source, you're connected to everything. And this is why Joe Dispenza says, you need to learn to go from somebody. Right now you have your own ideas. You have an identity. I work this job. I have this name. I have this gender. I live in this place. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. This is a somebody. When you go from somebody to nobody, having emptiness inside you, when you become a nobody, that's when you're connected to the source. You're connected to all that is. You're connected to the quantum field. You're connected to the divine himself, which is Allah al-Wahid. Al-Wahid. Not Allah al-Ahad. Al-Ahad, not al-Wahid, but al-Ahad. Al-Ahad means the oneness, which is all that is. Al-Wahid is one. Ahad means oneness, but that's why Allah says, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. From somebody to nobody. Now once you're connected to the divine, through being a nobody, that's why Allah tells Musa, اخلع نعليك, take off your shoes, because if you're going to be meeting with the divine, take off everything that you've been walking on this entire time. Now you're going to be connected to all bodies, all that is, everything. When you reach this state, That's where manifestation, that's where kun fayakun, that's where Allah creating things in your life becomes a reality. Now you can become anybody. Do you understand what I mean? So the process, what I'm trying to tell you is that the process for you to bring something from the unseen, not you obviously, but to see something coming from the unseen to the seen, manifestation, is for you to go through this because everything is connected anyway. So for you to manifest a bunch of money is possible because you're connected to everything anyway. For you to manifest a specific someone is very possible because you're connected to everything anyway. And what's the process of you doing that? You go from somebody to nobody. How do you do that? Observe everything. Detach yourself from everything. Go back to being the awareness. Go back to being the sky. What's the sky? The sky is just there, not attached to anything. It's just observing everything. And there's something within you, very deep, that's observing everything. When you're in touch with that being that's observing everything, observing the thoughts, observing the emotions, observing the rain, observing the earth that's inside you, that's when you become a nobody. Now, when you're in that state, remain in that. Remain in that. And the divine himself will guide you to giving you what's best for you. And Allah knows what's best for you more than you know what's best for you. Allah knows and you don't know. You plan and Allah plans, and Allah's plan is best anyway. That's when you're connected to everybody. Now, once you're connected to everybody, all that is, that's when you can become anybody. Now, this is what it means. The microcosm is the same as the macrocosm, because what you're doing here is that you're changing your inner self. When you change your inner self, the outside as a result is going to be changing because it's all connected. All of it. And by the way, I talked about quantum physics. Even when you go through, for example, the string theory, you'll know that we're all made by the same thing. Same thing. I'm no different than the things I'm sitting on. I'm no different than the sky. We're actually made by the same material. But there's something deep within you, the human, that's different from everything. And that thing is the spirit that Allah has breathed into every single human. And that's why Allah says, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. Other creation has not been dishonored. Only you have been dishonored. That's why I'm saying this power is still within you. Use this power that Allah gave you. And for you to deny this power is you still using this power, but you're misusing it. You're actually abusing it. Because this power is the power that says, whatever you want is there. وَآتَاكُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ مَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُ. Everything you've asked for, Allah's given it to you. So then when you say, I don't have this power, there you go. You're given it. You're given the fact that you don't have this power, which shows you have this power. When you say, I have this power, you're given it. So now when you say, I decide to be rich right now, kun fayakun. You're there. So internally you're changed. When you just decide, I just decide that right now it's done. Me being rich is done. I decide right now, me having whatever specific spouse that you want is done. Kun fayakun. وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي. Allah says, when my servant asks you about me, tell them, don't even tell them, I am near. I am near. You don't need to tell them because I'm already near. Allah's already close to you, very, very close to you. Closer to you than your breath. That's how Allah's closer to you. I respond to the call of the caller when they call upon me. So how do you call upon Allah? You connect within. Change what's within first. That's how you connect with Allah. So right now your life is bad on the outside. Change what's within. What's within. And by the way, I made a whole separate video because I know every time I say that, people are going to be saying things like, what about all the people that are going through the war? I made a whole separate video about that, telling you my own experience with my own family, because I came from a country that was at war. In fact, I left when the country was at war, when I was a baby. But my dad, I talked about my dad on what he did. Same stuff, the same exact stuff. It works. I'm telling you, it works from experience, from my own experience in my family. You respond to Allah by going within. وَادْعُوا رَبَّكُمْ تَضَرُّعًا وَخُفْيًا. Call upon Allah inside, in surrender, and in secret, inside. So go within. When you go within, and then you change the world that's within you first, Allah says kun. Kun is not the same as khulq or khalaq. Al-khalaq, like the creation, is not what Allah is changing. Allah, when He says kun, it's not towards the creation, it's towards something inside. It's becoming. To become something is inner, it's inside. Not on the outside, inside. So when Allah says kun, what's happening is your inner is being changed. Fayakun. Then you become inside. Once you're changed inside, then the creation, which is the physical world, becomes different. Then that's what Allah changes in 6 days. Which I can make a whole separate video on what that means. In 6 days. But it'll take time. Because the physical world is within space and within time. But your inner world is not within space and within time. The ruh is not within space and within time. So when Allah says kun, it's the inner self. That's why when you say, I decide to be rich right now, and you feel rich inside you right now, and then the thoughts that come to you are about richness right now, give it enough time, the outside world will change. I'm telling you from my own experience, that's how it is. That's how it is. Works on anybody. As long as you're human, you can hear and you can see and you can think, it works with you. That's all the requirements. See, hear, think, that's it. Baby's crying, so I'm gonna have to go. But anyway, so if this was helpful, because this is extremely helpful for me, if this is helpful, let me know, Habibi.